There is no cure because of me. I am the one that you want. Just let him go. You killed my friends. We let you both live. And you wasted it. Wait!
What's up, everybody? My name is Chad Shifley. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn those notifications on so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. There's my cat trying to get... It's not open. Can you go leave? I'm filming something. Thank you very much. Today's video is focused on The Last of Us Part 2. So, in my opinion, The Last of Us is one of the greatest video games that was ever created. And I really fell in love with the first one. My brother got me into it back in the day. I never played it on PlayStation 3, but I got into it when I had a PlayStation 4. And then the highly anticipated Part 2 came out. And I feel like in the beginning there were mixed reviews on it. So the two games are completely different. Most people didn't like the second game, or at first didn't like it because, spoiler alert, Joel dies early on, and I feel like he was the anchor to the whole series or the whole story in general. So when you remove him from it, it's almost as if you're finding yourself asking, you know, what's the point of playing this game if the main character who we love so much that carried us through the first video game, first story, if he's not there anymore, then why are we playing this game? So the first one was more about hope, and the second game is very dark and relentless and brutal, and one of the most violent video games I've ever played in my life. It took a while for it to grow on me. I hated it at first because you play the majority of the game as Abby, who was the person that you're supposed to hate because she's the one that killed Joel. So as that wore off and you got invested in the characters and you got invested in Abby's story, you found out that she wasn't just a villain. She was a very well-rounded, three-dimensional character. The second game definitely took a while to grow on me, but ultimately I fell in love with that game as well, and it is a masterpiece. So The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 are the greatest video games ever made. Period. What I have here today are the two figures from Prime1Studios. The theater, Ellie, the theater version, and then also Abby's version of the confrontation. So they're massive statues, they're highly detailed, they're super awesome, and I can't wait to show them to you now. So my first impression when they first arrived was, wow, these boxes are massive. And second, as soon as I opened it, I could immediately see that I was beyond impressed. These statues exceeded all of my expectations. So as soon as I got the box, I was extremely excited about it. And then as soon as I opened it and started pulling out the pieces, I even got more excited about it. So the great thing about these figures is that they're super realistic, attention to detail is phenomenal, and they're just freaking awesome. So as you can see, they come in multiple pieces. They also come with interchangeable heads, especially Ellie, with different expressions. And then also she comes with different weapons. So she has the shotgun in this, but then she also has a 6-shot revolver that you can also swap out. There's some deluxe versions and stuff that come with weapons that are just extras. You have to pay more for them. In the case of like Abby, which you'll see shortly, she had a deluxe version where she came with a Molotov cocktail. I wasn't able to get that version, so I don't have that weapon for her. The detail is pretty awesome. And they also have these little work lights that you can turn on and off. The great thing about Ellie is that, especially in The Last of Us Part 2, is that she's just a badass. Like, she's just hardcore on a vindictive, hell-bent on revenge to track down Abby at all costs. So obviously it's a statue, it's not an action figure or anything like that, so there's no articulation. It's basically just a fixed pose. But the detail in her is fantastic. Like, just look at her face. Tell me that's not identical to the game. Like, the sculpt on these are just unbelievable. Her arms are removable, and she has a different weapon option, which is a revolver. You can remove her head. Her head comes off. Oops. Just set her down there. We have her shotgun. Come on, autofocus. Let's fucking go. I don't have time for this shit. There's her left arm. Her other option is a revolver. And then she just has another arm option here. She comes with 2 different head options with different expressions. So we have this one. And then we have a more vengeful, angry, more serious look. Like look at the detail in that. Isn't that just phenomenal? So good. So the base is very heavy, very sturdy. And then it comes with just little odds and ends. Like the rope here is removable. There's a couple bottles that you can also place around the statue. So the magnets that hold her arms and her head in place are very strong. So there's no possibility for it to accidentally fall off. You really have to tug on these pieces to get them off and change them. So that's good. A few months ago, I went to MegaCon, and I was able to meet Troy Baker, who is the voice of Joel. He's also a super famous voice actor and has voiced many popular famous characters from video games. So I had a couple items signed by him. So first off, I have a PlayStation 5 Firefly Edition. This is the Last of Us Part 1, the Firefly Edition, as you can see, and it's signed by Troy Baker himself. If you don't believe me, it was authenticated, so yeah. I also had him sign my PlayStation 3 sealed copy of The Last of Us, so I had him sign this as well. Here we go with Abby. Abby is, in a sense, an acquired taste because you hate her when you first play the game. You absolutely hate her. And that was my experience with the game too. I kind of knew about the spoilers going into it, so I was kind of already prepared to be disappointed. I will say this is the only game I've ever played where it forced you to play as the villain or forced you to play as the person that you're supposed to hate. And so I can't say I've ever played a video game where you had to do that. So that was very frustrating and difficult at first, having to play as Abby for a huge percentage of the video game. Also knowing that she's the person that killed Joel and you despise her. But over the course of the game, you learn so much more about her. She's got so much depth to her, and she's not just a villain. So it took a while to get used to, but like I said, The Last of Us Part 2 grew on me, and I ended up loving it. So I'm done rambling right now, but also similar to the Ellie figure, you have a battery-powered work light that you can turn on and on. The only thing is that Abby does not come with an alternative expression. She only comes with one. And she does come with a hammer, and then she also has a pistol. Like I said before, there was a deluxe version that came with a Molotov cocktail, but I didn't get that version. She pops right off. She is a lot heavier than Ellie. But as you can see, the sculpt and the detail is just phenomenal. Look at that. Even the sweat. You see the sweat? The beads of sweat on her arm. Her ponytail is removable. Let's see if I can demonstrate that. Yeah. See? So that comes off, and that's a magnet. Both of her arms are removable. They are held in place by very stiff, very strong magnets, so you don't have to worry about her arms or her hair or her head falling off. And then for the sake of changing things up, I'm going to put her alternative weapon on. So she does come with a pistol, to be specific, and then her arm pops in just like that. very nicely. And then she doesn't have another left arm, so we'll just put that in there. Very amazing sculpt, fantastic, super heavy duty, super durable, quality is top notch, and as I can't reiterate enough that the detail in these sculpts are fantastic. Worth every penny, like I said before, and they both will sit next to each other and complement each other very well when you display them. They're amazing.